Hello everyone, welcome to Beaver's Hobby channel. This is a review of Mini QQ2 updated version. I'm gonna show you all the changes from the previous version and what upgrades should you do out of the box. Once again, thank you Banggood as always for sending me this car. If you buy it from somewhere else, you might get different front and rear parts, but the chassis and electronics should be the same. I have reviewed this car before, so I'm not gonna focus on the chassis too much. It's still the same chassis and you can watch my own review for the full analysis. But to put it simply, this is a Mini Z rear-wheel drive at half the price with 3-wire servo and 2-in-1 board. I really like driving this car, not just because it is great to drive, but also because I know if I fry the board or the servo, I can replace it cheaply and easily. Now let's see what we got in the box of this new version. It is ready to run, so we got the car and the radio. But that's it, there's nothing else, not even a tool to remove the wheels. By the way, the wheel nuts are M2 and you'll need 4mm hex wrench to remove them. Now let's look at the things that haven't changed first, because there are only a few. The motor mount is still the same, which is LM, for 102mm wheelbase. And wide rear chassis. It is equipped with ball differential, so you can adjust the tension on the differential to tune the handling. It still comes with plastic bushings, so you should upgrade them to bearings right away. What you need are 4 of 2 by 6 by 2.5mm bearings for front wheels, and 3 of 3 by 6 by 2.5mm bearings for rear axle. Next, let's look at all the changes. First, it comes with a very nice looking body. This is a proper racing body, and the livery design looks fantastic. However, they cut the wheel lashes too low, so the body sits too high, making it look a bit weird. We can cut them out more and lower the mount very easily, so that's not a problem. The rear body mounts do not interfere with the suspension, unlike the previous version, so I'm glad I don't have to fix it this time. Not that I'll be using this body for long anyway, because I'll put a Mini Z body on it. Next is the front. Now it has wide front chassis to match the wide rear chassis, which is great. The handling is more stable, and the tracking is better than the previous version, which had narrow front and wide rear chassis. As you can see here, I have changed my old one to rear narrow to match the front. Next, the tires are now treaded tires. This pattern is really good, and the tires still work even after picking up some dust. As the result, the car also works on normal room floor or outside a proper racetrack. You can easily run this car in your home, providing you don't have a thick carpet, because it only has 2mm ground clearance. Finally, the electronics have changed. You might have seen it in my speed test. Now, it can go up to 20 km an hour. It has onboard gyro, which helps the car to go in straight line easier and makes it harder to spin out. There's also a power port here with JSTPH 2-pin connector. It's a bypass from the battery, and you can run things like LED lights, transponder, or even FPV camera off this port. The radio is decent. It has dual rate on both throttle and steering to limit the speed and adjust the turning circle. This helps a lot when you are learning how to drive. However, this radio has a bit of dead zone in the center. I have to turn the wheel out a little bit until the car starts to respond. Well, this is not that bad, or enough to spoil the precision. but it might bother you a bit if you already use a good radio. Unfortunately, it has its own protocol from Sinohobby, and it doesn't work with any other radios. So if you want to upgrade it, there's no other choice but to replace the whole board with ESC and receiver of your choice. As always, I have managed to find a problem on a seemingly good car, but this problem is really small and can be fixed easily. There is some slop between servo and steering rod or tie rod. So when I steer left and right, it doesn't come back to the same spot, and that makes driving pretty tricky. Here's how the old version works and how it should work. I have to say, this is not a problem if you leave the gyro on. Once the car starts to veer off to one side, the gyro will correct it and the car will go straight as if nothing happened. Anyway, as I said earlier, this is very easy to fix. Take the servo out, and put a shrink tube on this part. And that's it. Now put the servo back in. And all the slop goes away. Now the steering is sharp and very precise. In conclusion, this is a good upgrade from the previous version. You got a lot of car for $65, and I highly recommend it if you want a budget rear-wheel drive touring car. It's a good car to start your racing career too. But please check the rules and regulations of your racing league if it allows the use of gyro. Soft lightweight body, LM motor mount, and ball differential. Otherwise, you'll have to replace some stuff or turn the gyro off. And not just for racing, this car is also fun to drive around the house, and even better with FPV camera on it. Next, let's talk about upgrades. This car has a lot of compatibility with Mini-Z rear-wheel drive, so you have a lot of upgrade options from wheels and tires to motor mount. There are some upgrades I suggest you do out of the box. The first one is the bearing upgrade I talked about earlier. The other upgrade is T-bar, which is this bar connecting between the chassis and the motor mount. The original T-bar is very stiff, so I suggest you upgrade it to Mini-Z MR03 T-bar, either graphite or carbon fiber. There are two types of this bar, RM and MM. RM is long plate for RM and HM motor mount. MM is short plate for MM and LM motor mount. If you use stock LM motor mount with 102mm wheelbase, you can use either of these. But if you want to use it with other Mini-Z body that's not a LMP car, then you have to change the motor mount too, like this one. I use MM2 motor mount with 94mm wheelbase. And finally, I suggest you to get some springs as well, so you can tune the handling. Front springs are the same as Mini-Z MR02. And rear main damper spring is the same as all the Mini-Z rear-wheel drive. You can also upgrade the main damper to oil damper if you like. It will smoothen out the bumps and make the car more stable. Tires are also important, but that depends on where you drive, so you should change the tires according to the track surface. My current setup for driving around my room is stock front springs, rear blue spring, and 5mm T-bar from Tree Racing. I really like what I have here, except that dead zone in the transmitter. So I might upgrade all the electronics and install a brushless system to make this car a budget Mini ZVE. Please tell me in the comment below if you want to see that. And that's it for this video. Please subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and hit the bell icon to get the notification whenever I upload a new video. You can follow me on Facebook or social media for quick updates, written reviews, news, and see what I'm doing between videos. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.